Welcome to Seattle, where the energy is absolutely electric. The U.S. men's national team is riding the momentum of a massive opening win, and as the host nation, the expectations from this home crowd couldn't be higher. The math for today's match is completely straightforward. Secure a victory today, and the U.S. mathematically guarantees their advancement to the round of 32. But standing in their way is Australia. Playing an underdog brings a unique psychological hazard. They have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain, meaning they step onto the pitch with free-flowing, fearless energy. Adding to the pressure, the U.S. is facing a massive hurdle right out of the gate. Their primary offensive engine, Pulisic, is battling an injury and might not be available to command the attack. Take a hyper-expectant home crowd, remove your top star, and an opponent with zero pressure. That specific combination creates a psychological vacuum, a classic tournament trap game. When the group stage is on the line, the immediate instinct is to rush your best player onto the field, even if they aren't fully healed, just to secure the immediate win. But the medical staff and veterans know the cost. If a player isn't at exactly 110%, putting them out there jeopardizes their health for the rest of the tournament. The required solution here is trust. The squad has to rely on its broader roster depth to step up and fill the massive void left in the attack. That means calling on specific, dynamic players off the bench, like Gio Reyna, to command the midfield. By slotting in aggressive forwards like Weah, the shape of the attack shifts. They bring fresh legs and a different rhythm, allowing the team to maintain high offensive pressure without skipping a beat. Surviving a deep World Cup run requires total discipline. You have to prioritize the long-term health of your core roster, instead of panicking over 90 minutes of group stage soccer. Once the players are on the pitch, they face an entirely different obstacle. Australia knows they are outmatched on paper, so they are perfectly content to abandon their offense and focus entirely on defending. This tactic is called a low block. As we can see in this diagram, the defenders drop deep into their own territory. They pack tightly together in rigid horizontal lines right outside the penalty box to completely choke off any passing lanes. When an attacking team gets frustrated, they usually try to force the ball straight down the middle. That plays right into the defense's hands, leading to immediate interceptions. Breaking this formation requires extreme patience. The attackers have to pass the ball rapidly from side to side along the perimeter. This lateral passing forces those rigid defensive lines to constantly shift left and right, physically exhausting them. Eventually, that constant horizontal shifting stretches the back four out. Small gaps begin to open up, giving creative attackers the exact pockets of space they need to drive forward and take players on one-on-one. Dismantling a low block is a battle of minds. The team that loses their patience and tries to force a sloppy pass will ultimately lose the match. Stretching that low block comes with a structural cost. To surround the penalty box, the U.S. has to push nearly all their players forward, leaving massive swaths of empty green grass directly behind their own defense. Australia is waiting for exactly that scenario. The moment the U.S. turns the ball over in the midfield, the underdog launches a high-sprint counterattack directly into that undefended space. To prevent these breakaways, the defensive midfielders have to act as the ultimate failsafes. Their exact job is to violently close down that open space the second possession changes, throwing their bodies into tackles and winning every loose 50-50 ball before the sudden counterattack can even start. And if a breakaway does leak through, it all comes down to the final line of defense. The goalkeeper might stand in the net completely uninvolved for 40 minutes, but he has to maintain absolute mental sharpness to make a high-leverage save when called upon. Elite offensive possession is useless if your team lacks the transitional discipline to shift backward and kill a sudden counterstrike. If the U.S. sticks to the game plan, passes laterally, and stays patient, they will successfully pull that defensive block apart and put 3 or 4 goals in the back of the net. Achieving that secures them a spot in the round of 32, guaranteeing advancement with an entire game to spare. That early qualification hands the coaching staff an incredible tactical luxury. They can look at the schedule and decide to fully rest their key starters in the final group stage match. By sitting out that third game, the core squad gets to recover. They march into the high-stakes knockout rounds completely healthy, fully rotated, and carrying massive momentum. Navigating a trap game is the ultimate test of a squad's maturity. It separates the teams hoping to be carried by a single superstar from the deeply disciplined rosters genuinely built to win a World Cup.